What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the NASCAR Cup Series race at Pocono, the first one. This is the Saturday race. The Sunday race, it's only gonna be a live stream on Sunday because it's just no point in recording a video, in my opinion, on Sunday night that's gonna be relevant for like 5 hours. So, maybe a little more than that, but like that's just how I feel about that. So, I will be going live for this race, like between the two races. So you got the truck race at noon and then the cup race at like 3:30 or 4 or something like that. So in between those races, when the truck race is over, before the cup race, I'm gonna go live for this one. I can't really set a time for that because I don't really know what time that's gonna be at, but probably around like 2:30, 3 o'clock. That time range is when I'm gonna be going live on Saturday for this race. So if you're new here, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, turn on the notification bell. All of it helps me out so much. I appreciate all the people who interact with my content every single week. It's just really helps me. Really helps me out. If you want to get more content, you can hit that Patreon link down below. It's $10 a month for all three series combined. So you get this weekend, you get 4 races worth of content because you got 2 cup races, an Xfinity race, and a truck race. You're gonna get 2 spreadsheets with every single stat you need. Then you're gonna get projections. You're gonna get rankings. You're gonna get what drivers need to do to pay off salaries. You're gonna get past optimal lineups. What I expect optimal lineups to look like this week. You're gonna get rankings. You're gonna get tiers. You're gonna get cash cores, a bunch of stuff, and just go hit that link if you want to join that. As well as I'll put my Twitter link where you can always ask me questions if you cannot make the live stream to ask questions or you just don't want to ask over there. So be sure to hit me up on Twitter as well. I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, that's really all I got to start this out. Let's get into this slate. This is very interesting at the top because this 10K range you got 10 to 12K range, you got, the guy who's kind of just been like dominating this year. Like it's just been not even close. Then you got Chase Elliott starting 29th, Truex starting 15th, and Blaney starting 27th. So what do we do with this top end? Well, I'm playing Kyle Larson. Until he shows no speed, I'm playing him. Obviously, he didn't race here last year, so we can't really look at any data from last year, and we can't look at any data from the 5 car for him. In the 42, he had some good runs, he had some bad runs. There were some races where he ran pretty well. He got a second place here a few years ago. We saw him get like another top 10, but we've also seen him finish outside the top 20. Honestly, man, the Hendrick cars anyway have just been so fast, and then you get Kyle Larson too. Like the talent is just insane. So I expect him starting on the pole to just lead a bunch of laps again. 12,500. I'm playing him, so we're gonna move on with that. Chase Elliott at 11,000 would probably be my next favorite one. I prefer him to Blaney, honestly, just because he's in a Hendrick car. It's not like he's Elliott or Blaney, for that matter, have really been great in this track. Only a 14.5 average finish for Chase Elliott here last year. 7.25 average finish at flat tracks. 10 average finish at 10 at super speedways, and average finish at 13.3 at shallow tracks. When you look at average position for Chase, only average finish of 14, or average position of 14 at Pocono, average position of 8.4 at flat tracks, 9.83 at super speedways, and 11.33 at shallow. In the last 5 races, although we have seen Chase Elliott do really well, his second best average finish, third best average position. I think he'll definitely run top 10, probably top 5. So gonna like that. That's gonna probably be optimal. And there is a punt play I don't really want to talk about, but the punts seem to work at Pocono, so we'll get into that at the end when we get down there. But there is a punt play that is viable that will make you want to throw up, but it's definitely viable. So we'll get into that. That can make you play. That can allow you to play like 2 of these guys. Truex, I'm just not interested in, man. I mean, he just has not been good this year, man. Recently, 12th, but this year he's been good. He has 3 wins. So beginning of the year he was really good, but as of late, man, 12th best average finish, 9th best average position in the last 5 races just have not been good for Truex. I just don't want to play that. I mean, Blaney you can get to as well. Average finish of 17 at Pocono. Average finish of 11.5 at flat tracks. 14.25 at shallows or super speedways and 17 at shallows. Like everyone loves Ryan Blaney at Pocono and for his win here in his rookie year, but like ever since then he's been bad. Like not even close to good. I mean even average position is just not really great here for Blaney. So, and I mean I'm not sitting here telling you Chase Elliott's been really good at this track either, but like Chase Elliott's in a Hendrick car and Ryan Blaney isn't. So that's kind of where we differentiate here. I'm going to like Elliott more. Larson and Elliott, man, that's where I'm starting cash lines. That's where I'm starting. I mean, I'm going to start so many lines with those two, man. Especially if our punt play works, it's gonna be a hard time in my opinion seeing these two not be optimal. So gonna really like them. Kyle Busch, man, I mean I think he runs well. It's just hard to justify playing him starting fifth. Fifth best average finish at Pocono, 10.2 at flat tracks, 4.4 at super speedways, and 5.5 at shallows. Honestly, his average position at Pocono last year wasn't great. It's only average position at 16, but managed to finish well. One of those races he wrecked, so I think that's only one race. This data is only from last year because I don't really want to pay attention to past ones, in all honesty, too much. So, yeah, he wrecked one of those races. I remember him and Blaney got into it. And Bush was going to win that race. Believe me, he was winning that race. I will believe that. He had the best car at the, anyway. So I think Kyle Busch should probably run well here, but it's just, do we really see him leading a bunch of laps? I just have a hard time seeing really anybody getting out front other than Hendrick cars, man. Like, it's hard for me to see anyone other than right now than Larson, Elliott, Byron, or Bowman leading laps. Until I see it happen, I don't want to play anybody else as a dominator. I just don't. I didn't even want to play Kyle. Like, if you watched my live stream last week, it was 5 guys going into that race that I wanted to play as dominators, and Blaney blew up in my face, but then I just added Kyle Busch because I was just so scared that Kyle Busch was going to kill me, and then he did kill me because I played him, so, man, I just don't want to play anybody but these Hendrick cars, man. Like, Hamlin, he's great here. This is probably Denny Hamlin's best track, I mean, ever. 1.5 average finish last year, 7.6 at flat tracks, 3.4 at super speedways, 1.5 at shallows. At average position, 7th at Pocono, 8.33 at flat, 6.83 super speedway, 6.33 at shallow. Dude's won here. I'm pretty sure this has to be his most won track. I honestly don't know, but I know he's great here. 8th best average finish, last 5 races, 5th best average position. But I just don't see him getting out front. And at that price, you're going to really need him to get out front. I just have such a hard time seeing until I see the speed. And maybe the day one's going to blow up in my face, and day two we'll know more because some of these other teams have speed. But they just don't have it right now, and I just don't want to go there. I just want to stick with the Hendrick cars. I just think that's the way to go. Brad Keselowski has been awful recently. I mean, really bad. 24th best average finish, 16th best average position. It's not even just like he's finishing bad. He's running bad. I just don't see that changing. So I know he's good here historically, but I just don't want to play him. Kevin Harvick, another driver who should run well. He should have honestly finished in the top 5. Like, the top 5, in my opinion, is probably going to be Larson, Elliott, Byron, and then 2 of Harvick, Hamlin, Kyle Busch. Like, that's what the top 5 is in this race, and probably both races is going to be, but I just don't see him getting out front. We haven't seen him lead laps, like, all year consistently, but we've seen him run well. He'll finish well, but at $9,300 starting third, you need him to get out front and lead laps. William Byron, look, he can lead laps. I'm going to like him at $9,000 starting second. I don't really even care about his track history here, but recently the 3rd best average finish, 2nd best average position, and 45 laps led in the last 5 races. We've seen him rack up some fast laps too. I mean, that's kind of Byron's been getting dominator points more off fast laps and laps because you can't pass in the series. This is a track that honestly Byron could contend with Larson here. So I mean, I've been kind of saying it for I don't know if I've said it on stream before, but like the only guy right now who can beat Larson is William Byron, but because they both have ridiculously fast cars, but Larson's just a more talented driver, so Byron can't really get to him. So I mean, it's just that's kind of I'm gonna have way more Larson, but if you want to get Byron, get Byron. Like I think he should run well. So and maybe he'll get in front of Larson here. So gonna like both those two. Gonna go to Byron for short. Joey Logano honestly has never really been great here. Didn't do well here last year. Last 5 races, he's 10th best average finish, 7th best average position. Starting 4th, $8,800. I don't really want to play that. Alex Bowman, though, I love. He's top 5 upside here, $8,600, starting 13th. Although he didn't run well at Pocono last year, or the super speedways, or the shallow tracks. He's in a Hendrick car. Wow, I didn't mean that to happen. 7th best average finish, 9th best average position last 5 races with 103 laps led as well. I don't think he'll get out front and lead laps, but top 5 upside is certainly in the cards here in that Hendrick car. And at only $8,600, you're getting a discount on a Hendrick car, and he's starting to that's not true. He's not starting farthest back, but starting 13th is pretty solid there. So I'm gonna like Bowman. Kurt Busch, Christopher Bell, I think they're just too expensive here. I don't think Kurt runs. I think he'll drop a few spots. I think Christopher Bell could run up high. He had a good run here last year, one of the Pocono races. I think he finished in the top 10. I remember he was like starting at like 39th, and he was the highest priced driver on Draftkings. Everyone played him, and I was like, nah, fade him. No way he pays off the salary, and he paid it off. And I was just like, well, that's unfortunate. But this year, 8,200 starting 9th. I just don't see, he ran well last week, but aside from that, it's just not been great for Christopher Bell recently. I don't know. I just don't see that. Chris Buescher, gonna really like. He's gonna be popular. I know he's 8,000. That's kind of pricey. I mean, for Chris Buescher, but at the bigger 1.5, I know this isn't a 1.5 mile track, but in this package, he's been really good this year. Starting 25th, I think he should run top 15. I think that's gonna do enough for you to pay off that salary, especially if you get to more like a top 12. 10th best average finish here a year ago, or average finish of 10 a year ago, as well as an average finish of 10 at shallow tracks. I mean, he should run well. I know he has a win here, but don't pay attention to that. That win was in the 37 car and a fuel mileage win. It just doesn't matter. Recently, the 14th best average finish, 14th best average position. He killed me last week when he wrecked. When he wrecked, I was just like, man. And then Briscoe wrecked too, and I was just like, man. So, but, starting 25th, I think he's going to be good. Reddick, man. I hope people are scared off by this. I hope they are. I'm not, because you want to know why that average finish for him is? Well, the first race last year, he got in a wreck. The second race, the car had, like, an issue. I don't remember the exact issue it was. I remember I was so mad. And, like, it didn't go from the start. Like, there was a track bar issue or a battery. Like, I forgot the exact issue, but, like, the car just didn't go. So I think he finished dead last in that race. Like, he only ran, like, 20 laps. So, or maybe, I don't think, actually, he didn't run 20 laps, but he was on pit road for, like, 8 laps. So he was, like, 8 laps down to start the race, and he just could never recover, which, of course, he couldn't recover. At Pocono, there's no cautions. Like, of course not. So, starting 16th, Reddick's been great this year. I mean, great. 16th best average finish, 12th best average position in the last 5 races. He didn't finish well last week, but he ran well. Like, he was up inside the top 10 for moments, and after that wreck, he kind of fell off a little bit. But, yeah, I just want to play him, and I want to play his teammate. I mean, Austin Dillon, same thing. That car's been fast this year. 16.5 average finish, 15 average at Pocono isn't great, but, like, I don't really care. Like, he's just been doing well. 13th best average finish, 15th best average position. I bet you one of these two gets top 10 and is a very good DFS play. I don't know if they're optimal, but a good DFS play. Eric Almirola, I'm not going to play him starting 11th. I mean, this is actually a track where he's succeeded and a type of track where he's done really well. Like, these bigger super speedway flat tracks, like, that's where he does well. Like Indy, Pocono, those are tracks we see him succeed at. It's just, he's been bad. Honestly, he's been running as bad recently. 15th best average position, 18th best average position, but starting 11th, I don't really see much improvement there. So from that starting spot, so I'm not gonna really want to go there. Matty Benedetto starts 21st at $7,100. I'm gonna like this. This seems like a good place differential play, as is Briscoe. I think both of those. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Just stop. Okay. Better not do it again. All right. Starting 21st, 9.5 average finish at Pocono last year, and he had a 10.5 average running position, so it's not like fluky finishes. He was running well. Has not really finished well as of late, but I think he should run well at this track. I think he should get at least a top 15, maybe compete for a top 10 as well. So I'm going to be very interested in Matty D here. I think he should have a pretty solid run. As does Chase Briscoe. Briscoe ran well here in the Xfinity Series. Obviously, that's not the same, but starting 28th at $6,900. He's honestly been running better recently. 22nd best average position, 21st best average finish. We saw him running inside the top 10 last week in Nashville when he wrecked. So that was that. I was like in contention for taking down tournament last week of Briscoe, man. And I mean, like, all of my lineups sucked because Blaney wrecked, because Buescher wrecked. Who was the other guy who wrecked? Quinn Houff wrecked. Those 2 wrecked immediately. I was just like, well, I'm screwed. And then I had one lineup that was like doing really good, and then Briscoe wrecked, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But anyway. Whatever. What you gonna do? Anyway, I think Briscoe's a good play. I think he should run top 20, maybe top 15. Briscoe's starting to figure it out a little bit, and honestly, it's showing how much more talented he is than Cole Custer, in my opinion. Just saying. I think Briscoe is going to, finish pretty strong this year. Strong from a Stuart Haas terms. It's just starting to figure it out a little bit more. Ross Chastain, Stenhouse, man, I've loved him as plays all year. They just start way too high now. I just don't want to play Chastain, Stenhouse starting 6th and 7th. If they, finish top 5, good for them. I'll lose money, but I'm not going to bank on them finishing top 5. Suarez starting 14th. Actually, historically, this is a pretty decent track for Suarez. And then recently he's been running well, 16th best average finish, only a 21st best average position. I think this is the kind of tournament play that can win someone a GPP. I think he has top 10 upside in this 99 car. So just don't sleep on this one. And don't sleep on Eric Jones, man. I'm interested on for me, Eric Jones is going to come down to what people are doing with it, what everyone else is talking about Eric Jones. If we're having a ton of, hype around Eric Jones, I'm not going to play him. If no one's talking about him or people are not liking him, I'm going to play him. He started 22nd. This and Pocono and Darlington have just been elite for Eric Jones. Like when we go to Darlington, we got to talk about him. I remember that video. But here, he runs top 5 like almost every year. I mean, in one of the races, he wrecked him and I think it was him and Reddick. They wrecked, and I just remember I was so pissed. And like, because I had both of them, I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" And the next race, Jones started 35th and finished 3rd. Like, I mean, the guy is just, this is a track he always does well at. He just runs well at this track. Now, obviously, I'm not expecting a top 5 from Eric Jones. I'm not even expecting a top 10. But a top, 14, 15, 16, even 17 at $6,400, that could work. And then if we see Jones somehow get up into the top 12-ish, that could win a tournament. So Eric Jones here looks like a tournament play for me. I do not want to play him in cash. Do not want to play him in cash. Again, I don't want to play him in cash, but in tournaments, I don't mind it. I really, really don't. I think it just depends for me on how we're feeling. So that's why I got to turn to a live stream. If I feel like I think there's going to be a lot of people playing Eric Jones, I'm not going to be on him. If I do feel like he's not going to be too highly owned, I will be playing Eric Jones for sure. So that's just how I feel about that. Cole Custer starting 26 at $6,300. You don't really want to play Cole Custer anymore, man. 21st best average position finish, 26th best average position. Obviously, it's just not great, man. Not like he was really good at Pocono here last year. 16.5 average finish, 17.5 average position. I don't know, man. I mean, you can go there. I honestly just rather play Priest. It's not like Priest has been running well, but he does start 5 spots farther back, and he's $100 cheaper. 29th best average finish, 29th best average position last 5 races. They're not great for Priest. Don't get me wrong. I mean, seriously, in tournaments, again, if Jones isn't going to be, if these three are going to be higher owned than Eric Jones, I'm going to go to Eric Jones, man. I think he just finishes better. I mean, he should finish better than Priest, but I mean, I just don't think Custer is good, man. I really don't think, well, no, Cole Custer is going to last since 41 because he has family in Stuart Haas, but he's just not that good of a driver, man. That's just my opinion on Cole Custer. Bubba Wallace is $6,100 starting 20th. I mean, I don't mind Bubba here. Obviously, we know the deal with Bubba. He's been kind of bad, but 20th best average finish, 25th best average position recently. But, I mean, you're paying $6,100 for a car that, in my opinion, is just much better than, from here to here. Like, Bubba's the best car. I mean, if he can run top 15, I think he's going to be fine. And he should run top 15 this race. So at $6,100, I like Bubba as a tournament play. I don't mind him at all. I think I'd rather play him in both Priest and Custer and GBPs, to be honest. Corey LaJoy starting 23rd. I'm just not going to get there. Justin Haley. No, we don't ever play him. Why are Ryan Newman and Michael McDowell this cheap? I get they're starting 19th and 17th, but, still, what is going on with this laptop? Okay. But, still, Nate versus his laptop. That's really what this video is. I don't understand this pricing. I mean, Newman starting 19th. Last year, he wasn't awful at this track. 16.5 average finish, 14.5 average position. He should run around there. 19th best average finish recently, and 24th best average position. If he gets to top 13, and that's very, very possible for Newman here, that's going to probably be optimal. I don't really understand his salary. And then Michael McDowell, I prefer Newman, but, I mean, he ran well here last year, man. He just did. Finished 8th. That's just a good run for Michael McDowell. He hasn't been running well this year at all, but I'd much prefer Newman. But if you want to go to McDowell, I don't hate it. We're not playing Anthony Alfredo. And now we got to talk about Quinn Houff. Because this is a race, this and Indy have always been races where these punts work. They just do. And if you're going to punt, man, this car, the Quinn Houff 00 car, is just so much better, so much faster. I mean, it's not fast, but compared to these guys, compared to the Rick Ware cars and McLeod, and I don't even think I put Timmy Hill on here, Quinn Houff is just so much faster, and he's $4,700 starting 37th. I have him projected for 30th right now, and that's going to be a 3x value. And then there's a few wrecks he can pass them. He should pass all these back marker cars, without wrecking. He's just too cheap. Last week, I didn't talk about him in any of my videos or any of my live streams, but then I went and did some more research after my live stream was done, and I was looking at my projections. I was like, wait a second, Quinn Houff's not a bad play here. He projected out well, and I was just like, this actually might work, and then he wrecked on lap 1. So that was just bad, but I get if you don't want to play him, but, man, you can fit Jason Larson in here if you play Quinn Houff. It's a punt play that could work. We've seen these punt plays work at Pocono, especially before. This is a track. I mean, there's just a few races where I just don't mind playing these guys that are like super deep punts, and this just happens to be one of them. So I don't mind it. I understand if you don't want to. If you want to stop making lineups of Michael McDowell or even Ryan Newman, I get it. But I just think about it. Think about it. That's really all I got. Thank you guys for checking this out. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe as always, leave a comment, turn on notification bell. Tell me what you think about Quinn Houff, man. Like, what do you think about Quinn Houff? Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we're gonna make some money this weekend. And make sure to tune in that live stream on Saturday.